You are now tuned in to part 2 of Coaching New Age Coach featuring Sharr Smith with Luminous Soul Love. If you haven't watched part 1, I definitely recommend you stop here and go back to that video, as it will make this part flow a lot easier and help give you more context as to who Sharr is, what her spiritual business is all about, and some other important pieces of information that will help piece this video all together. But regardless, if not, please continue on, enjoy this video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, just enjoy. Here we go.
So you have a business. I'm sure you're crazy or an entrepreneur yourself. You've had all this time studying. Going through a spiritual awakening alone is its own journey and process. So
God,
with
yes.
what free time you have, what do you actually enjoy doing that still helps your growth but kind of separates a little bit? Or is there any separation for you, business and spiritual life?
Honestly, when I first started out, there was a separation because that's what we're taught. We're taught that fun and work can't coexist in the same space. You have to choose one or the other, and they have to be scheduled out. And then we're further taught that fun can't last as long as work, right? And so I really sat down, especially having the opportunity to be my own boss, to really depict it and figure out what I wanted this to look like for me on a day-to-day basis. Because here again, the whole purpose of working for myself is so that I have free reign over my time, right? And so people hear that and it's like, oh, well, I can just pick and choose what days I want to work. No, it goes way, way beyond that. We're talking about your daily routine that sets the tone for your entire day. We're talking about the content that you actually work on, regardless of if you're on social media or if you're running some type of Fortune 500 company. Like, you literally get to pick and choose what is on your menu every single day. And so it's just like, yo, I want to have fun as much as possible. How can I make my work fun? Because they say, if you're having fun, if you love what you do, you never
work a day in your life.
Right. And it's not that you don't physically have to do something. It's just that you enjoy what you're doing. And so the way that I've blurred those lines is just by simply not doing anything that does not excite me. Like, even down to the taxes and stuff like that. Like, I have to be in the mood for the taxes. And so I plan a certain
Wait, you
time
get excited about taxes? Is this what you're saying?
No. Listen to me.
Like, I need to take that class.
Listen. We're here, okay? Because we're like, yo, because that was one of my first concerns. Like, how the hell do I do this when it comes down to admin stuff that I have no choice but to do? And so my little hack around that is giving myself a window to get it done, right? And so when I say a window, I mean over the course of roughly 3 months, right?
Wow.
Now, this is not to procrastinate. This is so that I can take advantage of those bursts of excitement in between that time. If I only give myself a week, that burst of excitement may only last an hour. You see what I'm saying? And I may have something else completely planned to do for that, right? And
I'm
so
like, Shining, it's gone. I forgot. Taxes aren't done.
But yeah, if I give myself like this window, and I'm talking like well before taxes are actually due, give myself this window to have all of these different moments of bursts of excitement so that I can be like, oh, while I'm feeling it, let me go ahead and knock some of this out. And the more that you do that, when it's time to actually turn stuff in, is not that much to do, if anything at all. And so it really has just become a game of how can I take advantage of these bursts of excitement, especially now that I know what I know about my human design and how I'm supposed to exert this energy and recover. I have to have that recovery time. If I do not, everything else falls to shits and shambles. Like, it just does not work.
Yes.
Everybody isn't that way, because like another aura type is generators. You guys are made to just keep going until the thing is done. I don't have that kind of energy. Like, I wish I did. And that's how I was brought up in society, is to keep doing and doing and doing until you just fall out. But that's not how I'm spiritually genetically designed. Like, it just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? And so learning how to take advantage of those bursts of excitement, or those bursts of energy, because it may not be excitement for you. That's just how I am. It's either
that's just
all the way up.
Though, just like you said, it's just finding joy and treating life like a game. So whatever that means based on your design, which again, it leads us back to first step of researching your website and checking out how to find out what your design is, because that is the route that's going to help propel you in whatever direction to, again, path of least resistance, right? Like you said, if I'm this type, trying to do it this way, that's going to clash. That's not going to be alignment. It's going to cause friction. So basically treating it like a game for what makes sense for you.
Yeah, and I do want to make sure that you guys understand that are watching this, that you understand that no, you do not have to know your human design type in order to be able to function. Does it make life easier if you do understand? Sure. Knowledge is power. It's all a game of knowledge and understanding how to apply for your life. But that is why I share information with you all the way that I do, so that you can have it in these bite-sized chunks and not be overwhelmed. The name of the game is to enhance your quality of life, not make it more stressful. So don't worry about it if you don't know your human design type. Don't worry about it if you just stumble upon the website and figure out how to get the chart and still don't stress yourself out with that. When it's time for you to get that piece of information, that knowledge, spirit will damn sure make sure you have it. Okay.
Absolutely. And you sound so excited about that. So I guess my next question is, what still excites you most every day to wake up and kind of pursue this, to have your spiritual business, to do what you do every day? What keeps you going and inspired?
Just finding new ways to enhance things. Like I keep saying enhance the quality of your life, because this was my struggle, my mode of depression. Like I literally and like physically could not breathe.
Yeah.
Like to the point where I would wish for or pray for death in my sleep, and I'd rather be asleep than to be awake. Like it had just really gotten that bad. And so waking up every day with a new opportunity to say, hey, how can I make this fun, and what new stuff can I get into to explore, to find out? But I'm also naturally inquisitive. So and I have been since a kid. I've always wanted to know why, or wanted to explore or have additional information. And so it's that grasp, or that yearning to learn something new. But I realized that everybody doesn't have that. And so my advice to somebody who struggles with, okay, I'm just not a book person, or I don't want to learn all this information. It's not that you don't want to learn, it's the content that you're learning. This is why when you go to college and you can't pick a degree, or the degree program that you pick is boring, or you flunk out, it's because you're not interested in that material. You're not interested in that information. And so you just have to explore and see what you're interested in. That's the only way it is going to work for you. You have to explore. You have to be willing to look behind the curtain and be okay if the boogeyman back there. It's cool. The boogeyman not as scary as he makes himself out to be. I promise. There's way more scarier stuff out in the world. I promise.
Yeah. Taxes. Back to taxes.
Right. But that's okay. My advice to you is just simply to explore and find out what you are interested in, because where there's interest, there is that yearn for knowledge, because you just want to learn as much as you can about what lights you up and what excites you. It's just a matter of figuring it out. Another real life example for you is I have my bachelor's degree in women's studies, but I damn near flunked out trying to get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the stuff people don't talk about. It's like, oh, I got this degree. Okay, but let's talk about your journey to get this degree. Let's be real about this thing, right? And so, yes, I did earn it, but there were these first couple of years where college just didn't make sense to me. It wasn't necessarily that I wasn't supposed to be there. It was just the content matter that I was studying and the mindset that I was in at the time. Because I used the knowledge that I earned or that I gained now, but the mindset that I was in back then, I couldn't wrap my head around the dynamics of diversity, right? And being able to accept all of these different people, places, things, and cultures, and being able to articulate it in a way for somebody else to care. Wasn't that I couldn't understand the cultures or being accepting of them. It was just getting to a place where you can articulate for somebody else to care, or to give a damn, or to take inspired action to make a change happen. Yeah. Right. And so coming back full circle, that's what I do as a coach.
Yeah, and I think it also comes back circle to you, where you were just talking about learning about how important recovery is. And I think the word recovery translates to also downtime and integrating. So many things in our lives and on this spiritual journey, we're so quick to be like, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? And we always want things instantaneously, but sometimes it takes time to actually, I could learn something yesterday that I think is irrelevant to my life, not even understanding that I learned something. And then 30 years later, I was like, that piece of knowledge that I acquired back then actually is spot on for what I'm actually supposed to be doing once I find my path in that alignment. So never be too quick to judge like this situation is good or bad, or I didn't learn anything here, or it wasn't challenging, or it was. Like none of that label and boxes matters. It matters that you do have that recovery to process. It matters that you do have that perspective to understand everything for a reason. And I think just perspective overall. How would you define, spirituality can be kind of a touchy word for some people, right? And that's a them problem. So I would ask, how do you still attract the right audience who you could still help, right? Who may not consider themselves spiritual, for example, but making sure, how do you translate that, or what does spirituality mean to you in the context of what you do? So
the first part that I actually would like to address is I'm honestly not trying to attract everybody. Just
fair.
Yeah, straight up. I'm a firm believer in not being forced into something or forced to learn something that you're just not ready for, because here again, you can have access to the knowledge, but if you're not ready to accept it, you're not going to be able to understand it. You're not going to be able to apply it, et cetera, et cetera. And so when you talk about spirituality, it is something that you have to come to in your own terms, or in your own time and on your own terms, right? And so because that's that spiritual awakening experience, it literally is something significant happening in your life that removes the veil and makes you gain a higher level of consciousness. It doesn't have to be something bad in your life that happens and it's significant. It's just something that's considered to be significant for your particular life, and your particular soul contract that you agreed to before you came. And so when you talk about the definition of spirituality, it is my belief that we are simply just talking about your connection to your higher self and your connection to universal life force energy, because we are taught religion, right? And it's not that religion doesn't have any validity. It's just more so the fact that religion's validity is found in spirituality. And that's the part that nobody ever talks about. So it's like, okay, I'm going to tell you what you should believe. I'm going to tell you what you can and can't do. That portion of it is man-made. Yes, there are several different books with rules and guidelines. But at the same time, how do you interpret those rules and guidelines? How do you resonate with those things? How do they apply in your everyday life? Because the other factor there is we don't have the same access to the same experiences. We're not even talking about tools and resources. We're just talking about cultural experiences
day to day
themselves, right? And in 24 hours. And so because I know some asshole is gonna be like, oh, so murder isn't the same on both. Listen, Linda, listen, Larry, okay? Yes, murder is the same on either spectrum. What I am saying.
They're not ready to hear it.
You know it's always one. It's always one. What I am saying is that when you talk about the different rules, right? About not being able to listen to music or certain types of music, or not being able to go different places and do different things or explore other religions, that's where you have to start questioning, okay, is it really an issue for me to explore or inquire about another religion, right? Or is the issue that you're losing control over me and my mind and what you can have me or influence me to do according to what you think I should be doing to, serve the need of the church, serve the need of you as, the head of the church or whatever it is, right? And so I honestly have been a firm believer that spirituality is just more so about the connection that you have or discover, grow and develop with universe life energy and your own intuitive nature, right? Because you've had everything that you need. Oh my God, this is my favorite quote from Wayne Dyer. He's deceased now, but he has a movie. If you have not seen this movie, you have to search for it on YouTube. It's free. You can find it for free on YouTube.
I'll link it down below as well. Yep.
It's called The Shift. Okay. So this was one of those pivotal moments in my life that was like, okay, wake up, Sharr. It's time to start really seeing stuff for what it is. And in this movie, he opens it up with the idea or the concept that you have everything that you possibly ever could need from the time that you are conceived, from the time that you are in the womb before you are even born. Absolutely. Why is it that the moment that you are born, you are taught that you do not?
Yep.
It's a sense
Everything's
of
external.
control, right?
Yeah.
It's a sense of control and programming, and it's not necessarily any one particular place to place that blame.
Mm-hmm.
It's simply an acknowledgement and an acceptance that your parents can only teach you what they know. This is a generational type situation, and so at some point in the generational line, it's either going to be you or somebody after you. It just so happens that we are in the age of Aquarius, where we are that we are that change, that change that's breaking those generational curses, patterns, and beliefs about what is supposed to happen. I mean, and this could manifest in a lot of different ways. This could be not going to college, or having children at a younger age, or not being financially
part of corporate America, doing your own businesses, spiritual businesses,
not having the knowledge about finances at a bare minimum, basic, right? This could be just about not knowing your family, or investing in knowledge of self, right? And so we talk about this complete package of wellness, mind, body, and spirit. But these are not new concepts. These concepts have been around for millennia. And
I think that's such a good point, and it's tied around. It's not, my channel is called New Age Coach, but in my original video, it's not about new age or this is new information. Actually, I talk about how I was 33 when I had a spiritual awakening. Now I'm 34. That's what new age means. But new age meaning, like, it's forget that. It's not new. We've known this for millennia and millennia, but ultimately it all comes down to remembering, right? So something you said, that we were already born with everything we need, and somehow when we come into this world, we have amnesia. We literally are wiped clean to even understand that everything we need is internal. Nothing external will ever make us happy, give us success, like love. None of that will come from that. It's just this spiritual awakening. Really, the word awakening is awakening to that remembrance of who you are, where you came from, and that infinite power that you possess. So I think that's a cool thing that you just said, that so many people get new age confused, thinking it's like new woo-woo stuff, or like kind of these new like mystical things, and there are pieces of that, and there are tools, but it's not new at all. I went on a tangent.
Hey, everything in divine timing, and if this is the catalyst that someone needs to see to propel them forward, and to feel like they are actually safe as much as they are, to be able to explore these different things, these different thoughts, ideas, and beliefs, and really question them. Now, is it scary as hell? Sure, all day long, because you're now going against everything that you've been taught all of your life. It's almost like being switched at birth, right? Figuring out, wait a minute, huh? But but you're also not comfortable around the people you've grown up with. Now that you have this new understanding, this new awareness of what's going on, it's just literally trying to piece everything together. And the important part that I want you guys to walk away with is understanding that you always have support. The key is you may not have support where you are or where you're looking. You have to change your circle. You have to change the group of people that you are interacting with in order for you to get the support that you need, okay? It's not going to just magically pop up because you have this new awareness and everybody around you is like, nah, you crazy. Nah. Okay. I'll get back to you in a minute, but right. And it's not that you're crazy, it's literally just the veil for you has been pulled back, and you can see everything that everybody else can't see. And so now you're basically like this you're no longer where's Waldo, right? You stick out like a sore thumb. And it's just like, okay, if this isn't my group anymore, not saying that you love them or care about them any less, you just have to go and seek the people, or stumble into a group of people of like mind that are either exactly where you are trying to figure things out, and so you guys do it together, or you have access to other people who have been where you are. And that's all a spiritual coach or a soul coach or a life coach or a business coach or whatever kind
or
of
Luminous Soul website or New Age Coach channel. There are all these resources.
That's all an individual such as myself is. We're just someone who has been where you are currently now, and we're here to guide you and help you figure out how to do it. Now, I can't tell you specifically what to do, but I can give you the tools and resources to do it. I can show you the different ways that you can apply it, but I can't tell you what's going to be the best way for you.
Or force you to do it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or force you to do it. And so it's really, it's so freaking magical. And it's so,
it is
so exciting to know that you have that type of power, especially when we are constantly, like every second of every day, told, oh, you're nothing, or oh, you don't really have the power to do X, Y, and Z, or oh, if you want to do this, you got to go through all these different channels before you have the opportunity to even breathe about thinking about doing it. You know, it's like, what?
Crazy. It really is just like a magical experience. Like you said, it's every spectrum, from scary but magical, from like intimidate, like every opposite you could think of. This journey is, but like there would be no other way, and it really has been just like a crazy experience for myself. And I'm thankful to, even like you said, surround myself with new people like you as well. And I'm grateful that I found you. And actually, with that, shout out to our girl Arianna with The Realm of Prosperity. She has an amazing YouTube channel. She is a friend, and she connected Sharr and myself. So huge thank you to Arianna with that channel. I'll link her below as well. You did give pieces of advice throughout this talk here, and I appreciate that. What would your final piece of advice be for anyone watching this? Just to your biggest takeaway that you want someone to understand leaving this video about their journey, where they're at, this whole kind of experience.
Just that it's safe for you to explore and to be yourself, because again, the only way that you can figure out the dynamics of who you are, regardless of what that is for you to explore different things. And a lot of times the energy of fear can take over, and it's like, oh well, I don't know what to expect, or I don't have anybody to guide me, or I've never experienced it, so I'm just too afraid to try it. But what do you honestly have to lose? Because you not doing it, you not exploring, gives you what you're experiencing now, and you're already at a point where you can't breathe. You're already at a point where you're experiencing dis-ease, or a lack of ability to be able to function in your everyday life and have security, sanity, and a secure element of who you are and your power, your gift. Even if to you, your only power is simply just being able to get up in the morning. And I'm speaking that, from experience. Like it takes a shit ton of work to be able to get up in the morning.
I said to put pants on, like that's something I don't take for granted anymore. Like I used to not, like you said, be able to get out of bed at times, and to be able to just, it's the small wins along the journey too. Absolutely.
Right. The other half of that is presence, being remembering to stop to breathe, because when you breathe, you give your mind, body, and spirit a chance to reset. And that moment of being able to reset allows you to clear some of, may not be all of, but some of your thoughts, to be able to get that clarity and think from a place of responding versus reacting. So when you respond, you think, when you respond, you act with knowledge. When you react, you act out of emotion. So however somebody made you feel, that's what you're going to replicate and make them feel too. So that would be the difference between responding and reacting.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
In conclusion, let's do a shameless, like just go at it. Just like shameless self-plug promo to wrap this all up. We need Facebook, we need YouTube, we need your website, we need every type of social platform you're on, and your recommended products. Let's just shout that out on a roll. I'll put them all below as well, but just do your last final kind of words to the audience about who you are, where they can find more information, and we'll wrap this up.
All right, guys. So you can find me on social media platforms at Luminous Soul Love. We're keeping it super easy for you, no confusion, at Luminous Soul Love, and that's on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. My website is www.luminoussoullove.com. And then who are interested in working with me and trying to figure out, well, where can I start at on a base level? I have a couple different options for you. So one that we talked about here and there, but didn't really dive into, is the Promise Journal. And that basically walks you through step by step. So if you're not quite ready to sit down with me one-on-one, but you still want some type of guidance and understanding as to how to begin the process of healing and forgiveness and things of that nature, we're talking building a daily routine, learning more about the chakras, I mean, some of everything. The Promise Journal would be a perfect place for you to start. Now, if you are ready to work with me and want that clarity, that understanding on a deeper level, the next stage would be to schedule a oracle reading, okay? So you can do the Soul Path oracle reading, or
that one's my favorite.
The other reading that we didn't talk about, because it is fairly new to the public in terms of me putting it on the website. I've been working with it for months, but it's called the Wish Upon a Star reading, and this one basically walks you through being able to set your intention for manifesting. So remember, we talked about manifesting being more than just money and things of that nature. So this one actually walks you through the ins and outs of your intention based on whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, and helping you navigate how to tap into the feeling, because it's not the thing in and of itself that you want, it's the feeling that you think the thing will bring you, right? And this could be a relationship, this could be money, this could be a new hairstyle, this could literally be anything. And so if you know, if you want that deeper understanding, that deeper knowledge, that would be the next level. The level up from that would be to take a course or to work with me one-on-one. The courses are available for you, and those are pre-recorded, unless it's like a live training that I'm doing, and usually I'll announce when those are happening and you get access to sign up, etc., etc. But the final level of being able to work with me is one-on-one coaching, and those are typically roughly 6 to 12 weeks, depending upon what your situation is and how much work it is that you are trying to do and dive into, and what transformation you're looking for. But yes, so one-on-one sessions are available as well. And you can always email me if you have any questions about any products, any services, or anything we talked about in the video today, at hello@luminoussoullove.com.
Beautiful. And I think you forgot one self-plug for your YouTube channel.
Yes, girl, it's so new. It's so new.
I got you.
YouTube. Okay, so YouTube @Luminous Soul Love.
Yep. And again, all the links will be down below, because again, I implore you to check out one, if not all, of her services, because I have personal experience. And if any of you have questions too, definitely let me know. Send me an email. All my information will be in the description too. But happy to give you a synopsis of what that entailed again, more details, answer any questions, so as to help you be guided towards Sharr and the services that she offers. And Sharr, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us, for all of the information you shared with us. Thank you so much. You are a goddess. We all appreciate you and the light that you shine. And I just can't thank you enough. So thank you, and thank you again.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye, Sharr.
Bye.